I'm Corwin Southern, Pediatric Occupational Therapist at ERMAC, and today we're going to look at some developmental milestones for a 4-month-old baby. The different areas we're going to look at is movement, sensory, so vision and hearing, grasping patterns, and some reflexes. So first of all, let's look at some reflexes. She has kind of it's a palmar reflex, which is appropriate, but it's not as strong as if she was 2 to 3 months. So as she's grabbing my hand, there's still that grasp there, but she still can release. And at this age, 4 months, that palmar reflex starts to go away. The next reflex we're going to look at, it's called a pull to sit. So as I take her, grab her arms, I'm looking at her head control, and she's keeping her head right in midline. That's good. She's using a lot of tummy muscles. And as I go back down, she's good head control. And her head nice softly goes back to the blanket. So those are a couple reflexes that are good head control. Now I'm going to look at sensory. So as she sees the object, she sees it with her eyes, and she's reaching, and she should be bringing her hands to midline, which she's doing. As I take the object and I move it to the side, she follows it, and it facilitates a roll. And as I go back to this way, she follows it over there. And as I take it away, and she's looking at me. What was that? What was that? So I take it over here. Still visually looking at it, and then she looks with her hearing. So she's using her hearing. Here's that. That's good. Okay, now we're still going to look at some movement. Let's start with rolling first. See if we can get her to roll. So I'm going to grab a toy over here. She's real happy. She's smiling. She sees that. So she rolls to her side, which is good. 4-month-old baby should be able to start rolling, and she goes all the way to her tummy, which is perfect. And now while she's on her tummy, she's reaching her arms out, and she's bearing some weight on her shoulders and her hands, and that's everything that she should be doing. She's got her hand up to her mouth. That looks good. Now I'm going to see if I can get her to roll from her tummy to her back. And I'm going to help her out with a little bit of this, because at 4 months old, a lot of babies like to be on their tummy because they can use their hands, and that's the position they like to play in. So I'm going to grab this toy. I'm going to move these a little bit over here. Oh, spit up. That's what babies do. So get her to her side a little bit, and she comes to her back. Okay. All right. Okay, she's come up. She's looking around. So with the grasping, let's look at the grasping next. Let's give her a toy here. And these are all good developmental toys where she's definitely not going to choke on them. She's holding it, bringing it up to her mouth. So she reached out, brought it in. That's something you expect to see. And she's still holding it with one hand. So we looked at grasping patterns, we looked at some reflexes, some movement patterns, and some sensory with vision and hearing. And some babies will typically develop at different stages, some a little sooner, some a little bit later. And if you ever have any questions or concerns about your developing baby, contact your pediatrician.